Hey cakey people, welcome to another video. Today we're doing these cute unicorn cake hearts. Please subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you. Here's a little close-up and obviously plug in the subscribe always. So we're melting down some candy melts to start with. These ones were PME Bright White. I'll link everything in the description below for you. Just separating a little bit out, we're going to add some Colour Mill Pink to this one. It's baby pink. I love these colours and they're fantastic for going into candy melts. They disperse really nicely. And then we're just going to sort of pretty much throw that in. I'm not doing anything special. Just a nice random pattern, not too much of it because we want a nice marble effect when they come out at the end. And then on top of that we're going to put the white and then give our special little ball tool and give it a whip around. So here we are, popping the white in. I'm doing 6 because that's how many I needed for this order. Obviously my mould does 8. I think you can get some moulds that do 6, but 8's quite a good number, especially if you want to make a couple of extra ones. So we're just smoothing it around the mould here. I've slowed my videos down for you. I hope that helps. I normally 2 times the speed. I've actually kept this at normal speed for you, and I'm hoping that helps people. So you don't have to pause it as much and things like that. Again, I hope that the voiceovers also help you because when I first started my videos, I didn't do voiceovers. Quite self-conscious of doing them. So I do hope that they do help you and it's easier than following written instructions. Let me know in the comments which you prefer. I can attempt to do both for you, and I always try to upload every Wednesday and Sunday, and sometimes I throw a bonus one in there. You will be getting a bonus Valentine's video next week, so look out for that one. Okay, so once you've done this bit, you need to pop them in the fridge for 5 to 10 minutes, depending how long your chocolate takes to set. Then take it out and ready for the next stage. And now we've got some cake that I've whizzed up. This is vanilla cake that I've whizzed up in a food processor, and we're mixing in a couple of tablespoons of buttercream. You want it to look like Play-Doh, look and feel like Play-Doh. Everybody's recipe will be different. Everybody's amounts of buttercream they need will be different, so it's hard to say. My recipe is really moist. So it doesn't take a lot of buttercream. So now we're filling the cavities. We don't want to fill them right up. We are leaving a millimetre or 2 at the top so that we can get nice smooth backs on these. That's the trick to getting the smooth backs. Some people don't mind if it's a little bit rough. Some people get a bit fussy if it's not quite smooth. So we're pushing all that cake in there. I do wear gloves for this bit because it is messy, and obviously I'm handling the food quite a lot at this stage. Most of the other time you're not touching it too much. I always try not to touch my chocolate too much because it does leave fingerprints and it doesn't look very nice. I wouldn't want to be eating anything with anybody's fingerprints all over it. Don't know about you. So we're squashing the cake into the moulds. You don't have to be mega careful with these like you do with the cakesicles, because obviously there's no stick or anything to get in the way. They're quite firm and solid, and I do my shells thickish. With my cake hearts, I like a good ratio of chocolate to cake, not quite a thin shell. I'm not a fan of a thin shell. So yeah, squishing it all in, making sure we get it all nice and neat, trying to keep it away from the very edge because that'll help us get a good seal on the edge and make sure that the cake heart comes away cleanly when we remove it from the mould later on. Okay, and then once we've got it all in, we're popping some more melted chocolate on the backs of them. There we go, and we're going to get our angled spatula. I did a couple at a time because it can set fairly quickly, because at this stage usually the mould is quite cold from being put in the fridge the first time round to set the shells. So we're just smoothing the chocolate around now, making sure we get those backs nice and smooth, then pushing any excess towards those 2 empty ones as well, because we may as well use it up. Why not? Don't want to waste it. And then we're just going to add a little bit more into that last one in a second as well. As you can see on that edge there, on that last one, you can see the chocolate's already starting to set. And again, that's because the mould's cold. So the chocolate's being spread around and it's cold as it's doing it. So I haven't shown taking them out of the mould here, but my other videos do show that quite clearly. Okay, so now we're using some pearl luster. I use this on almost all of my cake hearts because I think it really helps stand the lines out. And we're using a really fluffy brush, and I only use this brush for this dust. I don't use it for any other dusts, so there's no worries about cross-contamination of colours or anything like that. And obviously I only ever use these brushes for food. I don't ever use them for anything else. Okay, so just brushing that all on nice and evenly, and you can really see how those lines of the geometric shape really stand out once you do this. It's personal preference, you don't have to, the design works just as well without. Next we're going to put some gold spackle on there. I call it spackle. So this is my luster dust. I'll link a really good one in the comments for you. You can't actually get this one on Amazon at the minute. And then some rejuvenator. I've been asked about this before, and it is just a food safe alcohol. And basically all that alcohol will dry off and be gone. We just tap the brush lightly before we use it because it stops us getting massive blobs. We don't want massive blobs. Okay, and now this is a little bit of modelling paste. I don't make my own modelling paste, I do buy it. This is Renshaw modelling paste. Again, I'll link that one below for you. I find this one dries really nicely. Doesn't dry too quickly, but firms up quickly, and that's what we need for this job. So we're cutting little sausages, probably 3 inches long, 4 inches long, and then I'm just painting a bit of edible glue along the length there, not all the way around, just on one side. Painting it along, and then we're going to fold it in half in a second and then twizzle it, and that'll create our unicorn horn. There we go. Now you could make these ahead of time and let them set up and paint them before you put them on the on the cake hearts if you want to. I didn't. I wanted to be able to push them onto the cake heart and make it a smoother edge where it met the cake heart. And obviously also give somewhere to grip for the little balls that we're going to put on to decorate them as well. I left 3 of these with just the splatter on them, and then I did 3 with the unicorns because I like a nice little difference in a set so that they're not all exactly the same. So 1 more to go. Okay, so I'm just going to speed this last one up for you because once you've seen it twice, you've seen it enough. Okay, and now we've got a bit of melted white chocolate here that we're just using to adhere the horns. Making sure you get plenty behind it because you don't want it to snap off or come loose. And then once I put it on, you can see I'm just slightly squishing it at the base. Again, that helps it stand proud because it pushes the chocolate behind. And this is another reason I didn't make them in advance. And then popping some chocolate on. You have to be really quick here because this chocolate sets so fast. So we're popping those balls on just to give it a nice little decoration at the base of the horn. You could use little flowers or different coloured sprinkles, a little bit of a fondant decoration. It's completely your choice really. And then we've got 2 more of those to do after that, so I'll speed that up for you again. Once we've put these ones on, we'll be doing the painting of the horn. I've done it after I've put the balls on. You can do it before. Again, you can make them in advance and paint them in advance. It's completely your choice really. So we're using the Fake Cahill gold here, but I will link a really good gold that I like down below for you. Okay, I'm using a 0 brush as well. I find that's the best sort of brush to get into those nooks and crannies, and you don't get too much sort of over paint on the edges or anything like that, and it picks up just the right amount of paint. It's really, really important to learn what sort of consistency is best for each job. So when I did the spackle, I did it fairly thick. Here I've done it slightly thinner than I did for the spackle, and it's just about getting used to using those paints. And I always prefer to use a luster with a rejuvenator because you've got much more control over the consistency of the paint, and you don't lose any because you can leave this in the little tray to dry out and it will turn back to powder because all of the alcohol will evaporate off, and all you'll be left with is a little bit of powder that you can mix back up and put back in your pot so you don't ever waste any. Okay, I leave mine on my windowsill for, it doesn't even take an hour, and it's back to a powder form. So here we go, all 3 horns painted. So let me know what you think in the comments. I do hope that you have a go at them and enjoyed the video. Here we go, lovely little close-up. You could also use pink chocolate behind the horn if you wanted to. So yeah, please drop me a like, subscribe to my page for future videos, and look out for that bonus one coming next week. Thank you, bye.